Good morning, fellow traders. It's time for the Good Morning Market Prep for Tuesday, January 7th, 2020. This is brought to you by Positive Trends Research, and everything we're going to talk about today is for educational purposes only and non-investment advice. So please take a moment to review this disclaimer. All right, awesome. So you can see on the SPX here, the weekly chart, turned green yesterday. So we had a real strong day yesterday. Total range 32.2 points, so that made for a significant move. You can see here on the S&P daily chart, right? If we go, let's click like this. Okay, so we shifted our trend line. We haven't shifted our trend line yet, but the price yesterday got back over the upward trend line, which is bullish, right? So generally, right, because it's holding its upward trend. So we'll see if it can continue to hold and possibly push to all-time highs. And if that's the case, we'll shift the trend line up and we'll continue to be bullish until proven otherwise. Okay, so let's take a look here at the geometric chart. You can see that we did start to pivot here near the upper pitchfork, but with that push over the upper trend line, we'll see if we can get back up there. Those levels are about 3,300. So let's take a look at the S&P futures this morning. S&P futures were up a little bit. They were about like 5-6 points. I think up to like 7 points at one point last night. They've kind of fit about flat right now, but generally since yesterday, we are continuing to the upside, right? So here's your high, here's this. So we've pushed down below here. We have a little bit of a trend box this morning on the S&P futures. We'll see if that gets any follow through to the downside if it breaks through there. But if it gets some strength, right, it just has to get over the trend line and continue the momentum to the upside. Let's just take a look real quick. Let's look at light sweet crude oil. Let's look at oil this morning. So down a little bit, 50 cents. So it seems to have kind of calmed down after a lot of the Middle East talk. So we'll see how that holds up today. That could definitely be an interesting one to look at. Here you can see your trend box right here. Getting over the 63.2 level could be pretty strong for it. And then also let's take a look at gold futures and to see how they're actually up this morning. They've been pretty strong, certainly over the last several weeks, right? So into the new year. So we'll see if that gets any strength and pushes up over some of these key levels right here. So we'll keep an eye on that as well. In terms of upgrades and downgrades, we actually have a pretty busy one today. So Tuesday, a lot of traders are back at their desks, and so are the analysts. So let's take a look at a few that are looking pretty interesting. So we have from yesterday, at the end of the day, we have Mylan. So Mylan got an upgrade after hours from RBC. So we'll see if that gets some continuation into or some strength into today. We also have AMD, although not an upgrade, did release information about some strength in their processors. So we'll see if we get some continued momentum to the upside today. It looks like it's already trying to tick over yesterday's high. We also have Square with an upgrade this morning, so that's up pretty nicely. Let's take a look and see how that looks on the daily chart. That's up to 64.54. 64.54 puts us about this range-ish right here. So it's right about the 50-day moving average. So let's see if it can pop out of the cloud and get a little bit of strength today. Another one of the other ones that we saw this morning are FireEye. So they got an upgrade. This is an interesting one. One of our members mentioned this yesterday in our live stream. It is looking pretty good. We do have an upper shadow right here, so that was the only concern that we had about that. And it's gapping up this morning on an upgrade based on the fact that it's a security type company. So and they were saying that the upgrade basically said that with the Middle East conflict, it could get some increased goodness. Okay, and then let's take a look. Another upgrade this morning is Micron. This is one that we haven't seen. We haven't really been messing with in a while, but had a little bit of a down day the other day. So these type of upgrades in the semiconductors are really helping. We have that. We have Xilinx is another one that's that was down but is gapping up this morning, so that's looking pretty good here into the morning. So we'll see if that strength holds. And last but not least, we have PayPal. PayPal's been trying. There's been a lot of bullish call activity on this one. It finally got the pop that it needed. It's had some complex daily candles here. This is a very strong one yesterday. Not quite as much volume as the last 2 days, but it did show that it didn't want to stay down. Right here is your kind of consolidation zone right here that it's trying to pop out of. So if we're up at that 112 reason, we might see a bit of a gap and go today on PayPal. So definitely keep that on the radar. All right, guys. Well, I hope everybody has a safe trading day today. We'll see you guys at the lunchtime market update. And remember your risk first and stay safe so you can stay in the game. And I'll talk to you soon.